You cannot shine the light of God on your own any more than you can be saved on your own. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. My name is Chris Bailey. We're on the road here at the Ministries Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and we work out what God works in. That's the title of this study, but let's be mindful, be careful even, that we're letting our light shine. We don't make it shine. What am I talking about? Well, when you go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, it says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as you've always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." This verse used to cause me a lot of dismay because it seemed very contradictory to what I understood the gospel to be. I thought the gospel is about Jesus saves, and all I had to do is to know that, believe it, and be living it. That is the gospel. But when you read this verse, it almost sounds as if God might need a little help. But this is why context is important. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. What is Paul saying in verse 12? Perhaps we can look at verse 13 that gives us some clarity, just in case we're confused. Because verse 13 says, "For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure." So on the one hand, verse 12 says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But then verse 13 says, "For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do." So clearly, he's not being contradictory, saying to believe and then go make it happen. But he's saying, look, be careful. To work against is be scared, be afraid, tremble at the idea of you working out your own salvation. Because verse 13 is telling us it's God that works in you, not just to do, it's even God in you that wants to do what's right. Yes, even if you want to do what's right, that's not you. That is the Spirit of God working in you. That is the light of God shining in you to want to shine out. That's some powerful, powerful grace. Speaking of grace, is why I love Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. "For by grace are you saved through faith." And just in case there's a mix-up, we want to put a little bit of me and end up missing the message. It says, "It is not of yourselves. It is the gift of God." So we can look at Ephesians 2 and remember what we read in Philippians, where it says, "Be careful not to work out your own salvation." We've got to be careful that we're not trying to buy a gift. It's just another way of saying the same thing from Philippians to Ephesians. We are working against saving ourselves any more than we need to be careful to remember it is the gift. And we don't buy gifts, we receive gifts. The moment we buy the gift, it's no longer a gift, it is a purchase. It is a transaction, but not salvation. Salvation in Jesus Christ is a gift. And God is calling on us to be careful, to not turn a precious gift into something that we get. Instead, the value of this gift is in the giver, in the fact that it's been given. And all he asks for us to do is to believe. And we will know what we believe by how we be living.